Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a deep dive into the best Dan Heng Imbibitor Lunae teams the community have discovered so far. All of these teams take full advantage of Lunae's triple cost basic attacks, and you're going to be able to spam them no problems at all. In this video we'll be covering Lunae's best high investment, medium investment, and free-to-play team options. In order to ensure all these teams work, make sure you've got your 3 bonus abilities unlocked and you've got reasonable relics. If you're struggling on how to build your Lunae, check out my full guide listed down below. It's got everything you'll need. The most important part of team building for Lunae is to ensure he has access to enough skill points that he can use 3 of them for every single enhanced basic attack. Fortunately, in Memory of Chaos, it's incredibly easy to ensure this is the case. If your Lunae is 121 speed or slower, ensure one of your team members is fully skill point positive, and the remaining 2 team members are semi-skill point positive, meaning they use 1 skill per 2 basic attacks they perform. Ensure your 3 party members that are supporting Lunae are at 134 speed or greater. If you're building your Lunae for speed though and is at 134 speed or greater, ensure you have 2 fully skill point positive characters on your team and only 1 semi-skill point positive. Ensure all 3 of those members are still 134 speed or higher. There are a few character synergies that generate skill points and also grant Lunae energy, which allows him to access his ultimate faster, which can bypass some of these rules or make them easier to follow, but we'll be talking about those in the specific team comps right now. First up is high investment, which Lunae certainly thrives upon. Taking advantage of certain supports, Eidolons and Light Cones really pushes him to the next level. I tested my E0 Lunae with as many team comps as I could find in guides and websites online, and this is the one which ended up performing the best in Memory of Chaos for me. I also asked other players with E2, and they also assured me this team was certainly powerful. The team consists of Lunae himself as the main damage dealer, Bronya as the semi-skill point positive support, and Yukong and Luocha as the fully skill point positive supports. The combination of Lunae and Bronya is an unconventional one, but it actually works out quite nicely. Our Lunae wants to aim to be at 135 speed, and Bronya at 134 speed. The way this combo plays out is as follows. Lunae will use a normal basic attack, building 1 skill point. Bronya will then use her skill immediately after on Lunae, consuming the skill point just built. Then, Lunae can use a triple enhanced basic attack with all of the boosts from Bronya's skill. The advantage of this combo is you get to interact with the enemy way more, and you get all of Bronya's juicy buffs, but you also get to use your ultimate every 2 actions unconditionally. This is thanks to the fact you get tons of additional basic attacks. You get 2 normal basic attacks giving you 40 energy, 2 triple stacked enhanced basic attacks giving you 80. Of course, your ultimate will refund you 5, that's 125 energy there. If you're using his signature light cone, multiply that by 12%, and that's 140 energy. So you're going to be rocking that ultimate way more often than in other team comps. This is strong at E0, but even stronger at E2. To make it work though, you're going to need to make Bronya semi-skill point positive. You can do this by using her signature light cone, which grants a skill point when you use her ultimate. The fact that you also give Lunae more ultimates will also serve to give you more skill points, so that makes up for the rest. If you lock out and get Bronya's E1 though, well, you'll have even more skill points to play with. For our fully skill point positive support, we've got Yukong and Luocha at 134 speed or faster. Traditionally, Yukong isn't a fully skill point positive support, as she needs to use her skill to unlock her full potential. But in this high investment team, we've got her at E6, meaning she can bypass that requirement and give all those skill points to Lunae. Luocha is of course fully skill point positive most of the time as a healer, not needing that skill in order to keep the entire team alive. Ensure you're using Planetary Rendezvous on Yukong as well to give Lunae even more damage. Alright, let me take you through how to play this high investment team in Memory of Chaos 10 Side 2 here. On wave 1, we're looking to achieve 3 things. First and foremost, we're going to go for a 0 cycle clear, which shouldn't be too hard with our 134 speed Lunae. Second of all, we're looking to build skill points and energy on all of our characters to try and get ready for wave 2 and 3 with big burst damage. And number 3, we're trying to ensure that each character gets 2 actions in total in wave 1 to burn Yukong's Eidolon speed buff, which messes up our Bronya speed tuning. So we want to get rid of that speed buff so that our Bronya speed tuning is back into play and in effect. You guys will notice it when you play. Make sure to get 2 actions, it's gonna fix up that nasty issue. But with all of that done and achieved here, we're going to be moving into wave 2 here with all of our ultimates ready. We're going to kick things off here with Bronya's ultimate and give the entire team a massive attack boost and crit damage boost. We're going to wait for the enemy to summon his minions, and then we're going to go for Luocha's ultimate here to rip off all the buffs and do some modest damage. Here we're going to go for a standard basic attack with Lunae here, and then we're going to follow that up here with a Bronya boost, using that speed 2 combo here. So we actually had skill points to spare there, we actually overcapped on skill points, but here we get a massive 152k, and then we get to go follow it up with another big ultimate there as well. You'll notice that we're not using the Yukong ultimate. The reason for that is that we don't need to. We have more than enough damage to take out wave 2 here without needing to use that, so we're going to save that for the final wave here, and I highly recommend doing so whenever you don't feel like you need the damage. So we actually way overkilled that and didn't need it. So we're moving into wave 3 here, and we've got a ton of burst damage coming here. So Lunae does get dominated, but another benefit of running Bronya is that she will cleanse him whenever he needs it, and also make him a little bit immune to any sort of slows, because she can boost him straight back up here. So here is the boost, straight into a Bronya ultimate here. Then we're going to go ahead and use our Yukong ultimate here to boost them up even more, taking advantage of that E6 here. And then we're now going to go ahead and pop a Luocha ultimate to get a bit of damage. And then finally, we're going to go for a massive Unga Bunga triple stacker, 248k, straight into an ultimate here, which is going to do even more, which is the full combo there. So a total of 400k in one action there without having too many issues. And we've already got our skill points ready for another triple here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and use the traditional skill point combo here with Bronya so that we can get enough skill points for the long run. So we're going to boost him up, he's got the more extra damage here, and we're going to get super close to 0 cycling this with E0, but unfortunately not quite, didn't have enough damage, so we're going to get a 1 cycle here, and that's pretty much how the high investment team plays out here. There it is, the final blow, and Kafka goes down. It goes without saying, Bronya and Luocha are 2 incredibly in-demand supports, and chances are one of your other teams might already be using them. Unfortunately, this team is built around Bronya, but let's talk substitutions for Yukong and Luocha. If you don't have E6 Yukong, the next best option is absolutely Pella, who is fully skill point positive and has access to a great ultimate, which shreds defense. This is particularly potent because Lunae doesn't have access to any debuffs of his own, meaning this defense shred is going to be in full effect. For those looking to experiment though, you can use Yukong before E6 if you speed tune her just right and have a few skill points spare, or you can use Tingyun as well, as the energy recharge from her ultimate combined with Bronya's push actually gives Lunae so many ultimates that you can break the rules of the team compositions from earlier, although that's a little more experimental. For substitutes for Luocha, you can use either Bailu or Japad. Make sure they've got enough gear though so they can be fully skill point positive to ensure the team works. Next up is medium investment, and fortunately it's only a little bit behind the high investment team and uses a lot easier to get units, is more flexible, and also doesn't require Imbibitor Lunae to have his signature light cone. In this team, we don't need to worry about speed tuning, so you can run your Lunae at a lot of different speed breakpoints. I personally recommend 121 or 134 speed, but only if you can get your other 3 team members to 134 speed or higher. If you can't do that, downgrade your Lunae speed to 102 speed and run the rest of your team as fast as you can until you can hit that 134 breakpoint on all of them. The main difference between this team and the high investment one is that we're running Tingyun instead of Bronya in the semi-skill point positive slot. Tingyun overall is more skill point positive than Bronya, and has a similar energy boosting effect with her ultimate that Bronya achieves, meaning overall we'll have more skill points to play with. She also takes the onus off of having Lunae at a high speed value because we don't need to speed tune anymore, allowing us to take advantage of a really powerful interaction. The overall effect of this is that we can be a lot more flexible with the rest of our team options, namely our sustaining character, meaning you don't have to run characters like Luocha, but can instead run a character like Bailu, who wants to use her skill occasionally. Ensure your Tingyun is a little bit faster than your Lunae though, so she can buff him before he moves at the start of the battle. Playing the team is super easy. Keep Tingyun's skill active on Lunae at all times, and when she has her ultimate and Lunae doesn't have full energy, use it on him. Lunae should always use his ultimate as soon as it's available, and on his turn, triple stack his basic attack as he should always have enough skill points for it. Your remaining 2 units should primarily be using their basic attacks, but in this team comp, they do have enough skill points spare to use their skills situationally. Let's talk about that Tingyun advantage from earlier though. Equipping a Dance Light Cone to Tingyun will allow her to advance the team forward by 16% when she uses her ultimate. This is going to allow you to get a double attack on every cycle 0 with your Lunae at 121 speed instead of 134. Allowing you to run attack percentage boots instead of speed if you've got some decent substats. Really strong. In order to get full value from your Dance Light Cone and 2 actions on the first cycle of each wave, you'll need to use Tingyun's ultimate when Lunae's number here, the action value, says 20 or more. This can be a bit tricky at the start of a fight though, so you can use Tingyun's technique twice and then use her ultimate as you enter battle to achieve a state in which she has her ultimate active before anyone even moves. So we can use the ultimate here and advance everyone easily. We can see here the results of Dance. We've got our 122 speed Lunae, but he's getting 2 actions on the first cycle here. Super duper powerful. Having E1 Tingyun or higher superimposition levels of Dance will allow you to run even less speed on Lunae if you so desire. Thanks to Tingyun and the extra skill points she grants, compared to the high investment variant, we have a few substitutions we can make. You can swap out your Pella for either Yukong or Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf will be an upgrade if you've got her. Because she's able to use her skill every now and then, she can implant weakness and give Lunae a big boost. You can also use Yukong at any Eidolon level now. Thanks to the ability to use a skill point here and there, you can time it particularly nicely with the ultimate to give a big burst window. E6 also works if you're lucky enough to have it. And in the sustain slot, you can either use Bailu, Japad, or Luocha. All of them are great, and you'll have some skill points for healing if you need. The only character I couldn't make work with this comp was Natasha, as the healing was just a little bit difficult. To finish us off, we have our free-to-play team composition, and you might notice it looks pretty familiar. We're using the usual core of Lunae and Tingyun, and all the same tricks we just discussed will work for this team as well. But as a free-to-play player, we need to solve a major issue, and that is one of survival. So we'll be using a sustaining character of Natasha. Natasha isn't bad, but she tends to want to use a ton of skill points in order to keep the team alive. Unfortunately, that's going to hinder our Lunae's damaging potential, meaning we need to bolster our defenses to ensure she doesn't have to use that skill too often. In order to do that, we're going to bring a preservation character. At least, that's what I had the most success with. And the one I picked personally and liked the most was Fire main character. Assuming you can get a reasonable amount of speed on them, they're going to be fully skill point positive and bolster the defenses of the team very nicely. They have shields, but most importantly you can run a taunting light cone on them. I recommend either using Landau's choice or Japad's signature if you're lucky enough to have it. This team felt incredibly durable and I had no issues clearing Memory of Chaos 10 fully within the time limit of the side of this team. If your Natasha is a complete god though, or you're running easier content, feel free to swap out Fire main character for Pella, Yukong or Silverwolf though, as discussed earlier. To round us out, a quick honorary mention. Asta is a phenomenal unit and she definitely can be used with Imbibitor Lunae. However, her main takeaway is that she provides the team a ton of speed, increasing his consumption. In addition to that, she's only semi-SP positive. At best, she's using a skill and 2 basic attacks, meaning it's gonna be a little bit of a balancing act. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to cook up any teams, with her included, that outperformed the options I've already granted you. Although, it doesn't mean she's bad, and I fully expect to see some incredible Asta teams already or maybe in the future. And if you find any or any other teams which are really crazy, make sure to link them down below so we can all learn from them together. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video and learned something new. And until next time, good luck with your pulls. Cheers.